more or less their size and speed to keep them in this game, and hope it holds true.
Well, the Shorthorns have won the toss, and they will be receiving the football to start this one off. As we look across the way at the Schulenburg Shorthorn crowd, Jeff, hats off to the Shorthorn faithful. They have come out in huge numbers on this Saturday afternoon, and to see their Shorthorns in action. It's a great tribute to Schulenburg athletics and the community and the surrounding area, because there's more than just Schulenburg people in those stands today.
Well, there's a lot of alumni living in the Houston area and the surrounding rural areas that are going to come. Hey, this is great. This is a quick trip for them to see their alma mater play, and looking for an excellent game here. We want to give the Houston people something to show about that country football.
Well, one alumni that we both had a chance to visit with before the game, no one will ever forget, Willis Adams. He was an All-American at the University of Houston, was a first-round draft choice by the Cleveland Browns, of course, set all kinds of records at Schulenburg High School. He's a coach now here at Waltrip High School, and it was good to see Willis out here today, and he said he was picking his alma mater.
He said we should win it in the second half, wear them down, and take care of them, take care of business. He said they're a little soft possibly, but if we can just take it to them right away, we'll have a good chance. He said he wants to come back home. Just during football season, there's nowhere to come.
But he catches those playoff games, and hopefully we'll have a long ride for him this year with 4, 5, 6 games.
He can ride with us, if you ask me.
Yeah, as big as he still is, he could be our personal bodyguard. Kevin Fishbeck, Jeff Proschke, and Greg Yola on film. We are at Del Mar Stadium in Houston, Texas for the start of this final pre-district game between the Schulenburg Shorthorns and the Wheatley Wildcats. Of course, Friday night, the Horns open up the district campaign against the winless Brazos Cougars. East Bernard and Flatonia will open up on Friday night. They are both undefeated at 5-0. Shiner at 4-1. Weimer at 3-2. Those two teams meet in Shiner on Friday. The Horns, of course, open up the district season Friday night as well against the Brazos Cougars. So Wheatley will kick it away, back deep. Jason Houston. David Raines to his right at the 20 along with Kevin Mark. Should have no trouble seeing the numbers here this afternoon. The field is very wet. They had the sprinklers on this morning, and somebody forgot to turn them off. The kick is going to be straight up the middle, taken by Jason Houston at the 5. Houston straight up the box. The 15, 20, slips by 125, still on his feet to about the 27-yard line, and the Shorthorns will take over the first possession. Nice return for Jason Houston. The offensive linemen, the regulators, include Dustin Bolzel at center, Urich and Kujay are the guards. Segura and Deegan are the right and left tackles, respectively. Houston is in the backfield along with David Raines. Kurt Bezetsny will split out here to the left. Actually, Bradley Wright will get the start. They will alternate throughout the game. Tight end right, Stephen Sarton, the quarterback. Jamie Jackson is out here to the left as well. Defense jumps, flags will go down. Here comes Bradley Wright up the middle. Jeff, a good gain of 5, but we may get a free down.
We saw this in the JV game a lot. Not a lot of discipline on the line. Jumping early, trying to get in the backfield quicker. If he buries the snap counts, keep them off balance, it'll be a big plus for us. Keep them sitting back on their heels and not getting a jump across the line. It's going to be offsides on Wheatley. I think we're taking the penalty probably and get a 1st and 5. It looks like about a 5 or 6 yard carry. Wouldn't gain a lot by taking the play. It is that. It's offsides on Wheatley, so we're in good shape. A good way to start the game.
We will take the penalty. It'll be 1st and 5 for the Shorthorns. Ball at the 31-yard line. We're in an open air area up in the filming area. To our right, the Wheatley High School band. We will show them at halftime. They are a pleasure to watch. When you come down here to the city and see these bands, not only do they provide good music, but they put on a good show. That's all coming up at the half. We've just started. The scoreboard is not working, so we do not know how much time is left in the first quarter, but this is the first possession. Here's the handoff to Jason Houston. He's met in the backfield at the line of scrimmage, and no gain. So it brings up a 2nd down and 5. 2nd and 5 for the Horns. You said the scoreboard clock is not operating here at Del Mar Stadium for some reason. So we do not know how much time is left. We said we have just begun here in this first quarter. Schulenburg against Houston Wheatley on a very sunny, hot, and humid Saturday afternoon at Del Mar Stadium. 2nd down and 5 for the Horns. There's a little movement at the line. They get back. Sweep to Houston, gets the block. Jason cuts it up, has the first down. As he cuts it up to about the 38-yard line, that's going to be a gain of 6 yards for Jason Houston. It will be enough for a first down. Sweep it out and let the regulators do their work.
We've got to string this big team out. If we can string them out sideline to sideline in the first half, perhaps we'll put some wear on them, wear them down a little bit. Second half, maybe have a little more success in between the tackles by wearing them down.
Wheatley does have some players that go both ways. One thing that the coaching staff at Wheatley would not provide for us, they would not give us the defensive starters. We will have to pick it out as we go. A 1st and 10 for the Horns at the 38-yard line. First possession of the afternoon. Sarton, play fake, wants to throw, has Adams open, and he just overthrew him. Adams had a step on his man, number 10, Felix Howard, and number 84, Victor Zuniga, had a step, but he just overthrew him.
Well, the defender slipped. We might see that with that problem with the field we were talking about earlier, a little bit of the dampness on the field. He slipped and he still almost got back and made a good play on it. Got back to the receiver. They're probably going to have some decent speed in that defensive backfield. We're going to have to establish a run and get them to come up and support the run. Hopefully take away and get it open in the passing game.
2nd down and 10 for the Horns. A 5-man defensive front for Wheatley. Handed off to Houston. He gets wrapped up in the backfield and dropped for no gain. In on that tackle include Benny Webb and Thomas Miller. Actually, Jason's going to lose a yard. It's 3rd and 11 for Coach David Hoosman's Schulenburg Shorthorns. Ranked number 1 in the state in Class 2A. They are 4-0. The Wheatley Wildcats are 2-1-1, tying Galena Park last Friday night. Split backfield, Jackson to the right. We may see the little fade to Jackson. They're set up on that right sideline on the right hash mark. 3rd down and 11 for Schulenburg. We've got movement. That's going to be a free play. Contact was made, so we will have an offsides. Move them up 5. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Discipline's going to be a big factor in this game. I think Schulenburg is going to bring in a lot of discipline and possibly a lack of discipline on Wheatley's behalf. Will be a big benefit to Schulenburg if we can just keep our composure and keep plugging at it.
It's marked off the second offside penalty against the Wheatley Wildcats. It brings up 3rd down and 6 now. 3rd and 6 for the Wildcats, for the Schulenburg Shorthorns. The ball is at the 42-yard line. 2 splits out here to the left. Sarton wants to throw, in trouble. He dumps it off, the screen was wide open. Legal man's going to be downfield. Bradley Wright snuck out, Jeff. He is wide open. He scores if he catches it, but we've got the man downfield.
I think we're going to use a lot of these screens tonight. Wheatley is pursuing pretty heavily. We can use that to our advantage and hit these screens and these little tight end dumps over the middle and so on, and hopefully use that to our benefit. Looks like we're going to have a 4th down situation here. Where's midfield? Okay, we're short of midfield, so I'm sure we'll be punting on this situation, but a good opening drive for Schulenburg. Made some positive yards, and I think maybe get some butterflies out of the stomach on the first drive looking at their size. Hopefully our defense can step up and do a good job here.
Schromick will punt it away. Back deep is Dwayne Smith for the Wheatley Wildcats. This is only the 2nd or 3rd time Schromick has had to punt this season. We're in the 5th ball game. Good snap, not much of a rush. Schromick will punt it away. It will hit and take a short-horn roll. Smith will pick it up at the 20. He's hit immediately, and he's going to be dropped at about the 25-yard line. And Wheatley will take over offensively with a quarterback, Alvin Steele. Tailback is James Fowler at 220. The fullback is Thomas Miller at 240. He's only a sophomore. Flanker is Felix Howard. The split is Dwayne Smith. The line is huge. Mervyn Watkins, the center, is at 250. The right guard, Henry London, is at 200. Right tackle is Donald Rollins at 240. The left tackle, Stephen McFadden at 270. The left guard, Daniel Campbell at 205. They like to run the ball up the middle, but here they'll start with trips to the left. They will run a new formation. Trips out to the left. Quarterback Steele wants to throw, throwing it out. The ball is good. The man is wide open. It is caught and then incomplete. They say he bobbled the football. Wide open was Johnny Nickerson, Jeff. Somebody lost the coverage. They kind of fooled us going with that three wideouts.
Well, they flooded the zone there, and looks like they're going to have use their speed and flood the zone, and hopefully somebody can get up and get the ball. A nice pass. It should have been caught. Looking at a big game that was nullified there.
Second down and 10. We are in the first quarter. The scoreboard is not operating here this afternoon, but we are in the first quarter.
Have you noticed that the band has quit when they have the ball?
I did notice that. Yes, very interesting point. It's called the home field advantage or something like that. First, second down and 10. They will hand the ball off. And he's met the line and dropped for no gain. That may even be a loss. Big defensive surge in there. The headhunter, Chad Ginnert, right on the bat. Along with 51 is Ricky Hernandez and Paco Valenzuela. The ball carrier was James Fowler. So it brings up 3rd and 11. It's a loss of 1. That's what Wheatley will try to do. They'll try to run that football on you and then try to pop you with a big pass. 3rd and 11. Ball back at the 24-yard line. Wheatley Wildcats with split backs. Receiver to either side. The tight end is here on the right. It's a passing situation for Steele. Wants to throw. The ball is going to be thrown and almost intercepted by Adams. Adams had it off the deflection, and he just got by him. It's going to be 4th down. Great defensive effort.
I think the receiver heard some footsteps there. 2 Shorthorns were in his back pocket. A nice set of defensive downs there for the Shorthorns. Let's get some momentum back. I was watching their punting game before the game in the warm-ups. It didn't look like he had too good of a leg. Hopefully we'll get some good field position this kick here and do something with it this set of downs.
Jackson is the man back deep. It's a very short kick. Get away from it, Shorthorns. It will take a Wheatley bounce to the 50-yard line, and it will stop on the Wheatley side of the 50. Not a very strong punt, Jeff, only 26 yards. It will be 1st and 10 Horns at midfield.
A good defensive stand. Let's play ball on their end of the field this whole half. Make them make the long drives and hopefully be able to wear them down and put some points on the board this first half.
Second possession of the afternoon for the Shorthorns. 1st down and 10, ball at midfield. We are in the first quarter, about midway through. No scoreboard clock not operating, so don't know exactly how much time is left, but we'll tell you we're about halfway through the first quarter. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. The clock is being kept on the field. Handed off. First man through for the Shorthorns. Not much there. That's going to be David Raines. They'll wrap Raines up after a gain up to the 47, a gain of 3. Second down and 7 for the Schulenburg Shorthorns.
Even with that gain of 3, we had good line surge on that. It was 2 to 3 yards before he got hit. He didn't get there. Pretty good solid line. They're going to have a hard time driving them back with the running backs. Our backs aren't the biggest players, but we're getting a good penetration with our line, and that'll eventually wear on you.
Second down and 7 for the Horns. Split backs, 2 receivers. It's Adams far out and Jackson. They'll turn, give it to Jason Houston, who's going to be wrapped up and dropped for a loss. Houston is not getting outside like he'd like to. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 8, a loss of a yard. And now the Wheatley band will crank it up once again with the Shorthorns having the football. And they are loud. You'll probably be able to hear them throughout the afternoon. Third down and 8 for the Shorthorns. Ball is at the 48. We need the 40, just across the 40-yard line for the first down. Sarton is the man under. Sarton will drop back, has time, looking, being rushed. Here's he through. Jackson is there. He caught it at the 15-yard line. Oh, what a catch by Jamie Jackson to the 14. It's going to go for 34 yards from the 48 to the 14. Huge catch. And once again, Sarton held his ground, Jeff. He was mauled, but he got the pass off, and Jackson made a great reaction.
He threw it into double coverage. They had 2 defenders back there right between them. Excellent pass, excellent play call. You know Wheatley had to be looking to that pass, and it was completed at that point on a 3rd and long. Excellent job by the Shorthorn offense.
1st and 10 Horns, ball at the 14-yard line. Sarton and Shorthorns knocking on the door. They'll pitch it to David Raines, looking for a block. Can't get it, and gets hit, but he's still on his feet. And now a flag goes down, possibly in the face mask area, because there was about 5 purple shirts and only David Raines out there. The gain is up to about from the 14 to the 9. Face mask, Wheatley, tack on some more. It was a good carry by David Raines, Jeff. He just wouldn't give up.
Well, the referee, he was hit about the 11-yard line, drug through the face mask, got 2 more yards on a nice effort by David Raines. Tack on this extra penalty, first and goal. Yes, it is. First and goal for Schulenburg. Got to capitalize now. Get something out of this drive.
The ball will rest at the 3. First and goal, Horns. Ball is at the 3-yard line for the Schulenburg Shorthorns. Kurt Bezetsny in with a play for Schulenburg. He will split out to the right. Jamie Jackson out here to the left. David Raines, Jason Houston in the backfield. Sarton, the man under, will turn, pitch it to Jason Houston. Cuts it back up. Jason dives. Touchdown! 6 on the board for number 2, Jason Houston. His 11th score of the year. And Jeff, he did a good job. He was taking it outside. He saw the opening. He cut it right back up the middle.
I like the way he's spreading this field out. It's going to work to our benefit. If we can get these guys down early, get them hanging their heads a little bit, say, hey, this is a good team we're playing here. Put them away early and let's just have a fun time here in Houston.
Well, the defense had a 3 and out, and the offense got the football back, the big pass completion, and now the 3-yard touchdown run by Jason Houston has Schulenburg on top, 6-0. Barry Shepard will try to add the extra point. The snap is down. The kick is up and good. We're still in the first quarter. Our score, Schulenburg Shorthorns 7 and the Wheatley Wildcats nothing. We've been told we have about 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Schulenburg on top 7-0 on the Jason Houston 3-yard touchdown run. Now Schromick will kick it away. Back deep for the Wheatley Wildcats include Michael Conley and Dwayne Smith. So Schromick will be on to kick it away for the Schulenburg Shorthorns. His kick is going to go to the left sideline. No one out there. It's going to go out of bounds. Probably not what you want it. As the ball goes out of bounds at the 31-yard line. The option will rest with Wheatley. And whether they will let Schromick re-kick it or they'll take the football at the 35. The officials say that Wheatley will decline. So they will take the football at the 31-yard line. Is that where they will take it, or will they move it? Well, 31-yard line, first down and 10 for the Wheatley Wildcats. So the Shorthorns go back on defense, Jeff. Can't ask for anything better. 3 plays at -1 yard for the Wildcats in their first possession. A little under 3 minutes left to go in this first quarter. It's Schulenburg 7, Wheatley nothing. We're at Del Mar Stadium in Houston. Single setback is Fowler. Steele, the quarterback, will give it to Fowler. Gets by one tackler. Still on his feet. Big boy is still going to the 50, the 45. 3 Shorthorns on his back. Finally going to be brought down there by Sam Brown, along with Brian Valenzuela. It's a gain of 28 for Fowler. It's a gain of 28 for Fowler and a first down for the Wheatley Wildcats. Shorthorn football brought to you by Holas Duncan Insurance Agency, Hugo Holas in Schulenburg, Carl Duncan in Weimar, Frank's Restaurant, I-10, Highway 77 in Schulenburg, Chuck Brown Ford, Double B Foods Incorporated, Bubba and Karen Dagan, Don Blancett, and Schulenburg Tires, Alfredo and Mildred Valenzuela. Handed again to the big boy. He slips and falls. Not much there, maybe a gain of 1. That is Joe Smith or James Fowler. Last carry went for 28. Ball is in Shorthorn territory at the 42-yard line. Shorthorns on top 7-0. We are very late in the first quarter.
Well, you can see now, Kevin, the field is starting to wear right there where they're playing. It's wet, and you can see patches of turf flying up. I don't quite understand why they put so much water. They got to play a lot more games here this year.
Including another game here following this one this evening. Second down and 9 for the Wheatley Wildcats. They want to pass. Steele dropping back, dump it off, and the ball is caught by the tight end, but Schromick will bring him down inbounds. The ball is caught by Alfonso Williams, and he gets tackled at the 38. That's going to be awfully close to a first down for the Wheatley Wildcats. They will stop the clock. They say, nope, we will run it as a first down. So the ball went across the 38. It is a first down for the Wildcats. They're second on this drive after being shut down on 3 plays in their first possession. First down and 10. Wildcats on the move at the 33-yard line in Schulenburg territory. And I look now for the Wheatley Wildcats. Steele will give it to Fowler, and he gets knocked down at the 30-yard line. Took on Bozel as the tackle was made by Bozel. And now an official's timeout is being called. We can tell you that Shorthorn football is brought to you by Diamond S Restaurant, Foxfire Builders, that's J.O. Renner, 10th Frame Bowling Lanes, Audubon Travel Shop, Inco, Crumpcheck Wagner Insurance Agency, Kelly and Doris Sarton, Schulenburg Livestock Auction Incorporated, Zimmerman's Garage, Schulenburg Printing and Office Supplies, and Sports Specialties, the Prosky families, and Dan and Jill Tabor. Good crowd on hand for the Schulenburg Shorthorns have made their way here this Saturday afternoon for this final pre-district game of the 1994 football season. Tyson Romine was being assisted off the field for the Shorthorns. Second down, and we'll call it second and 6. Second and 6 for the Wildcats. Single setback. Will get the football, and a defense cuts him down right there. That was Fowler. Barry Shepard in on the tackle, along with Paco Valenzuela. Brings up a 3rd and 6 now. Ball is at the 29-yard line. We are very late in the first, under 2 minutes left in the first quarter. As we said, the scoreboard clock not operating here this afternoon. I can't understand why, but it is not. So we will just have to estimate on the time. 3rd down and 6. Hand it again to Fowler. He's got a room, and Ginnert just grabs a hold of the ankles to knock him down, but not before Fowler picks up 8 and another first down. Another first down for the Wheatley Wildcats. Interesting, as we look down on the Wheatley sideline, if they're not in the offense, they are set on the bench. Maybe, Jeff, because of the lack of numbers that Wheatley has. Now they'll all stand up, but they'll sit on the bench to get their strength back, the defensive players, because they only have 24 players on their entire roster. Ball's at the 22, 1st and 10. Steele wants to throw, throws it out, and again it's the tight end who catches the ball. Schromick has to drag him down inbounds inside the 10. Alfonso Williams picks up 13 and a first down. Inside the 10, it brings up a 1st and goal. First down and goal for the Wheatley Wildcats. Ball inside the 10. Shorthorns lead 7-0. Steele, the man under, will give it to Fowler. Marek wraps him up, not before he goes up to the 4-yard line, a gain of 5. And brings up a 2nd down now and goal. 2nd and goal. Ball is at the 4-yard line for the Wheatley Wildcats. Less than a minute to go now in the first quarter of play, with Schulenburg on top of Wheatley, 7-0. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. It is. So we have played one quarter as we take a look at the Houston skyline. Ahead of us, a very hazy afternoon in downtown Houston as we have Schulenburg leading the Wheatley Wildcats by the score of 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. It'll bring up second down and goal from the 4 as we have switched ends here at Del Mar. Jeff, the run is really hurting, but not so much as that. The tight end on those 2 catches he's made are big plays. He's been wide open all day.
Well, they're going to try to keep it compact, I believe, and stay within their limits. The big line, they're going to push. You know they're going to push, so that's where we're going to have to concentrate.
Second and goal from the 4. I look. Steele will turn, give it to Fowler. Cuts it up, dives, touchdown, Wheatley Wildcats. Fowler from 4 yards out puts Wheatley on the board, and now it is a 7-6 ball game. They will line up in the swinging gate to see if they will kick the extra point or if they'll have some type of trickery. Steele or Smith will do the kicking on the first play of the second quarter. Fowler takes it across, high snap. The kick is up. The kick is good. So we've just begun the second quarter. We have a new score. Schulenburg 7 and Houston Wheatley 7. Schulenburg Shorthorn football brought to you on Channel 16. Baumgarten Matula, Bruce and Cindy Bozel, 3D Belt Company, Charles and Gail Bow, Oak Ridge Smokehouse Restaurant, Tom and Laura Sanders, and Gallup Supermarket. There's the kick. Jason Houston will field it at the 11. Houston at the 20, trying to come outside of the 25, just can't get out there. Nice tackle made by Cleartis Alexander. Third possession of the afternoon for the Shorthorns. First one had a good drive that was stalled, but then the second drive they drove it down 50 yards and scored. Wheatley has since come back and taken a nice drive down the field. They too have put 7 points on the board, and that's where we are. It's 7-7, just beginning of the second quarter. Split backfield. Wright and Houston for the Horns at the 26. Sarden is the quarterback. Pitches it to Jason. Jason looking for the outside, can't get it. Well, the line pursuit by Wheatley is something we saw last week by Yoakum. They just string it out and they just run Houston out of field position.
Well, hopefully we'll have the same result as last week where we continually ran outside and eventually broke them at near the end of the game. Conditioning hopefully has a lot to say about that. Well, hopefully it continues today that way. Like you said, there's a lot of people going both ways for Wheatley. Hopefully that'll help us in the latter stages of the game. I like the idea of running outside. I'm still a fan of it. I hope he keeps it up this game. We need a good showing tonight. I mean, it's not necessarily a win is not the cure-all. And let's just have a good showing and before we get into district play.
It's good so far. We're tied at 7. Second down and 9 for the Horns. Sarton with a draw. The ball is fumbled, and Wheatley